Good evening and thank you so much for joining us tonight on BeeTv Major News at 6. Reaching you live from Benin City, the Edo State capital, Nigeria. My name is Oluwatoyin Oyedola. Before we get into the news, let's quickly take a look at the highlights for tonight.
So for us, when we came into government, it was clear that we had to, like every government, have our roadmap and decide on what was important and what is important to us as a people of the state.
Unique technocratic S7s and governance and the irreducible legacies that you have littered the entire state with.
You must pay school fees before you get accommodation. And people wait day off campus, they enjoy like past we don't already pay school fees.
Refineries were under repair, and over $4 billion had been invested in this by government at different times.
An oil-producing nation for 50 years or thereabout, this nation is still battling.
Is a local breed, is a man that is a progressive native, a man that is loved by all. There is honorable humility, there is honorable simplicity and honesty. So he's not somebody that you need to describe that is a foreigner.
During the time of Adam Saliu Oshomole, when he was vying for the position of governor in Edo State, we all did it for him. Presently, I think it's a tax that I already have the formula which I will use.
Our challenges include open defecation and only 16% out of 774 local government areas in Nigeria are open defecation free.
Now to the news in detail. The Edo State Governor, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, has said the vision of rebuilding the country and placing it on the path of progress and prosperity is possible if the nation can attract its best brains and best hands into the civil and public service. The governor said this during a strategy retreat of the heads of service of Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Edo and Delta states under the aegis of the Brace Commission held at the John Odige Oyegun Public Service Academy in Benin City, Edo State. BeeTv News Best Orator has the details.
Mr. Godwin Obaseki, lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, though I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, stand up.
The retreat is targeted at fostering excellence in the public and private sectors and equipping participants from the 6 states in the South-South zone with the requisite skills to develop an action plan for the betterment of the region. Obaseki, who is the chairman of the Brace Commission, while declaring the 2-day strategic retreat open, said the retreat will recreate the trajectory of an efficient and effective public service in the region. He said the retreat brings to the fore the question of how to rebuild the country through institutions and bureaucracy at the local, state and federal levels, a process he said can be achieved through ensuring that the best hands come from the civil service.
If we don't fix our bureaucracy, then it will be a pipe dream and just rhetoric talking about fixing the country. So for us, when we came into government, it was clear that we had to, like every government, have our roadmap and decide on what was important and what is important to us as a people of the state, and also decide on how to go about achieving those things we said we will achieve as a government.
The governor noted that capacity building for the state is important and the way people are hired and retained is key for his administration. He said as a government, they have the roadmap and decided on how to go about achieving those things they have planned to achieve, and was done in 6 ways, which are the thematic pillars. He said his administration promised automated process and overflow to motivate the civil service for high performance, to rebuild the capacity of public servants through training, to revamp the work environment of public servants, which he said had been achieved.
In 2016, when we took over, we said we were going to do 6 things, or focus on 6 things. First, and most important, was to reform our institutions, the institutions of government. Then we will talk about building our infrastructure. And because it's all of this that will carry our people. So whatever reforms we intend to make in education, healthcare, if the institutions are not there and the infrastructure to undertake those reforms are not there, then you will not be able to fix those issues affecting people like health, like education, like sports and things like that. And these people are the ones that will, whose efforts will create the economy. The economy does not create itself. It's people that create the economy.
The guest lecturer and chairman of the Federal Civil Service Commission, Professor Tunji Olokpa, who spoke on strategic leadership in civil and public service, challenges, opportunities, and future prospects, commended the governor for his many positive and progressive reforms in the Edo State civil and public service, which have transformed the state's workforce. Professor Olokpa said the challenge of rebuilding Nigeria required an engine, which is the civil and public service, added that the engine is weak and needs re-energizing to move the nation forward.
Unique technocratic S7s and governance and the irreducible legacies that you have littered the entire state with. I'm sure I had promised my colleagues in NIPS that I will still render that, so that it becomes a case study for study.
Other dignitaries present at the retreat include the former governor of Edo State, Chief John Odige Oyegun, Director General of the Braced Commission, Ambassador Joe Keshi, the Edo State Head of Service, Dr. Anthony Okumowa Esquire, and permanent secretaries, as well as heads of different agencies in the South-South Zone, among others. Oluwatoyin Oyedola reporting for BeeTv News. The Edo State Governor, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, has inspected the ongoing construction of the Edo State College of Health Sciences and Technology, as the institution is ready to receive an accreditation team ahead of the commencement of academic activities. Soy Osemige reports that Obaseki led other members of the State Executive Council, ESCO, on the on-the-spot assessment to the institution to assess the progress of work. The report.
The governor, who spoke to journalists after the inspection, said the management team for the college has been hired and the team is working with the government to complete the infrastructure work while the admission of students into the school is being finalized. He said his visit is to inspect the extent of work and readiness for the team that will be visiting in 2 weeks in order to check the progress of work with a view to correcting whatever is to be corrected and putting it right so that before the next academic calendar year, the school will be accredited and open for students. He appreciated the management team for the college, which has been hired, the provost and his team who were also present to inspect the facility.
An accreditation team from the regulatory authorities to come and do a pre-accreditation visit to this school, so that the process of getting all the accreditation we need to operate the school will be seamless. And so I'm here today to just inspect the extent of work and the extent of readiness for the team that will be coming here in about 2 weeks to come and inspect the progress of work with a view to correcting whatever needs to be corrected or put right, so that before the next academic calendar year, the school will be accredited and opened for students. So that's why we're here, and as you can see, work is progressing rather rapidly. I think we broke ground here and decided on this revamp less than a year ago. And you'll agree with me that this approach of work here has been quite impressive. Of the work is very high class, and so far so good. There's quite a bit more work to be done, and I really appreciate the team. The management of the school have now been hired. Standing to my left is the new provost for the college, and members of the management team are here to see us and work with us to complete the infrastructure work while they analyze the admissions so that we can launch the best school or institution to train workers for our primary healthcare system, not only for Edo State, but for the rest of the country.
Responding, the provost of the college, Dr. Moyo Kasim, assured that their job is to follow the vision for the governor, and they would make sure that the School of Health Technology is the best in the country.
Our job is to follow the vision of His Excellency. And simply the vision for us is to make sure that this College of Health Sciences and Technology is the best in the country by now. As you can see, he has made so much investment that's very clear to everybody here. So the onus is on us now to admit the best of the best to come to this college, and for the citizens of Edo to be proud of the products that ultimately will graduate from this college. That's our charge. And I want to promise the governor today and the state that we will not let him down. We'll key on that vision. We'll stay on that vision.
The provost said the governor has made so much investment in the institution, promising that they will do their best to admit the best to the college. And the citizens of Edo State will be proud of the products that will graduate from the school. Esoa Osemegi, reporting for BeeTv News.
Now, a federal high court in Abuja has notified the People's Democratic Party governorship primary election, which took place on February 22nd, 2024. The election was deemed invalid due to the unlawful exclusion of 378 delegates who were supposed to participate in the voting process. Justice Inyang Edem Ekwo delivered the judgment in response to a lawsuit filed by the affected delegates, represented by Honorable Kelvin Mohammed. The court held that the PDP violated both the Electoral Act 2022 and its own guidelines during the primary election held at the Samuel Ugbemudia Stadium in Benin. This ruling is a significant setback for the PDP and its candidate, Aswe Igudalo. With this development, the party must now conduct a fresh primary election to select its governorship candidates for the upcoming election, or alternatively, appeal the judgments at the Court of Appeal. Counsel to the petitioners and former Commissioner of Information and Communication in Edo State, Barrister Andrew Adeze Enwata, comments on the development.
Who were duly elected and who have been so accredited by the party but were excluded. The implication of this is that PDP has no candidates because those delegates that were supposed to elect that delegate were excluded from participating in the party programs. For us, it's a victory for the rule of law, and we must thank the judiciary because the judiciary remains the last hope of the common man. The judiciary has said these 378 delegates have been excluded, were unlawfully excluded. So for us, it is victory, and there's need for Edo people to know that as it stands, PDP has no candidates, and it's a lesson for the party and other political parties to always comply with it because there's no alternative way. It is a former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Atanda Williams CGA, that said, in a situation where the rule of law is jettisoned, anarchy becomes so beneficial. So God forbid that we live in the state of lawlessness. We don't pray for that to happen.
Meanwhile, in a quick response, the Edo State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, says it is aware that certain elements who are scared of the soaring popularity of the party's candidate, Dr. Aswe Igudalo, are going about peddling rumors that the candidature of Dr. Aswen Ighodalo has been nullified. A statement by the state chairman of the party, Dr. Tony Azigbemi, said it should be on record that the candidature of Dr. Aswen Ighodalo as the flag bearer of the party for the 2024 elections remains intact, and that the judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja did not in any way affect the candidature of Dr. Aswen Ighodalo. He urged the party's teeming loyal supporters to remain calm and resolute, as there is no cause for alarm. Now to Kano State, where the leaders of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra says federal government will secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. This formed part of the resolution reached at the meeting in Enugu. BeeTv News' Joyce Iyere completes the report.
This is a second meeting of the Southeast Governor Forum. The meeting had all the 5 governors, Southeast stakeholders, Director General of the Forum, Senator Oji Ogunafe. The group, which went into a closed-door meeting for several hours, emerged with key resolutions centered around security and economic development of the region.
The Forum received a delegation of the former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR, Chief Emeka Anyoko, GCON, and His Royal Majesty Igwe Emeka Asade, CFR, the Obi of Onitsha, who came on a solidarity visit to this forum.
The governors who received an audience, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, former Commonwealth Secretary Emeka Onyanko, and others agreed to put into action the key resolution from the last meeting in Owerri.
The forum deliberated on the reviewed report of the Southeast Security and Economic Summit held in Owerri on the 28th September 2023 and agreed to implement the aspects of the report pertaining to security and economic integration of the region, and affirmed its desire to put actionable plans on the key issues agreed.
Chairman of the forum agreed that they have reached a resolution to visit President Bola Tinubu to discuss pressing issues in the region and interface with federal government to secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu.
The forum resolved to visit Mr. President to discuss the pressing issues, all pressing issues concerning the Southeast region. The forum also deliberated and resolved to interface with the federal government to secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu.
The meeting was attended by many stakeholders in the Southeast by Governor Chukwuma Soludo, Anambra State, Francis Nwufuru, Ebonyi State, Alex Oti, Abia State, Peter Umba, Enugu State, and chaired by Governor Obuzodima, Imo State. Joyce Iyere reporting for BeeTv News.
Students of the University of Benin have again taken to the streets of Benin on Thursday morning with more vigor following the announcement by the school management to shut down academic activities at the institution following Wednesday's protest and asking all students to vacate the hostels within few hours. BeeTv News' Esoel Semige, who witnessed the situation, completes the report.
Students of the University of Benin are not giving up on the need to press on their demands as the protest, which began on Wednesday, entered day 2. It can be observed that the service lanes and the expressway were completely blocked by students of the institution. They claim that the management of the university has refused to heed to their complaint and has shut down academic activities, asking all students to evacuate their hostels within a short notice. Uniben students took to the street on Wednesday, blocking the busy Benin-Ore highway to protest weeks of power outage at the institution. They said the prolonged power cut has severely impacted their preparation for the upcoming first semester examinations, which is just a few weeks away, and other hardships they are experiencing as a result of the power outage. The students of the university are not only protesting for constant electricity, but good hostel infrastructure, constant water supply, and the hike in transportation fee within the university environment.
Just because yesterday, because they will come out and come protest, say light no day. Now FVC yesterday told say they get meeting. Now it say if we protest today, they say go shut the academic session. So they talk to you so this morning. We don't shut the academic session. We don't day school again. We don't turn up road like this as today. So what did they happen now? So they don't give us 2 hours to come out for hostel. Me they stay Abuja. And they stay Abuja, not get family for Benin, not get anything for Benin.
Almost 2 months now. They have not given us lights, no water. Those that are going to night class, they cannot go to night class again. Nothing at all, cannot do anything, we're tired.
They argued that they are made to pay exorbitant school fees and high hostel fees, and yet they are suffering from power outage, which had plagued them for over 2 months now.
Protest is in 2 ways. First of all, we have an increase in school fees, increase in hostel maintenance, increase in everything. And we learned that the electricity bill was increased, and for over 2 months now, we've not had light in school. Now the reasons why we are angry is that our exam is just in 1 month, and we know the tension of Uniben exam, and we survived Uniben exam by really throughout the night. So if there's no light in the night, you cannot write exam.
They however called on the Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Imwetinya Salami, and the university management to hear their plight and restore electricity to the campus.
People for 1 week, you're gonna owe shit, you're gonna owe peace, because if you need toilets, they snare. You know, if breeze, infection, anything. Today I went to farm place to fresh water to beds, and I stayed there from after 6 to 8. The line was so long, longer than visits. Hey God, this is a pay me. Say we wait there hostel, you must pay school fees before you get accommodation. And people wait there off campus, they just like pass me when already pay school fees. So I can imagine, and the hostel generate more money.
The protest stemmed from a power outage that began after the university and the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC, failed to reach an agreement over a contentious electricity bill. Esoa Osemege, reporting for BeeTv News.
Ahead of the September 21st governorship elections in Edo State, the APC Youth and Students Director of Senator Monday Okpebulu and Honorable Dennis Idahosa Campaign Council, Honorable Valentine Aswe, in company of other executive members, inaugurated the Edo North Senatorial Youths and Students Local Government Campaign Committee ahead of the gubernatorial poll. BeeTv News Best Orator has the details.
Speaking before presenting the letter of appointment to the APC Local Government Area Youth and Student Liaison Officers, the State APC Coordinator of Youth and Students for the Monday Okpebulu and Dennis Idahosa Campaign Organization, Honorable Valentine Aswe, said the committee members are expected to go to their local government, wards and units to solicit vote for APC and its candidates. He said that those people need someone who understands their yearnings and have the capacity to deliver dividends of good governance to the people, saying that Senator Monday Okpebulu and his running mate, Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, have all it takes to take Edo to the next level.
So I want to beg you that we will deliver Monday Okpebulu and Dennis Idahosa. We are not fear. From Monday is a progressive nature. A man that can speak his dialect to his people, not be foreigner, not be persecuted, it is better to talk to people. Monday exonerates simplicity, humility, and honesty. A local breed, a local content.
He therefore encouraged the committee members to work in unity to ensure that Senator Monday Okpebulu emerge as the next governor of Edo State come September 2024.
Your liaison officer, not say because you be liaison officer for local government, you say NG officer not get everything again. Consult with him, liaise with him. That's what I'm saying. What you need, you guys can work across purposes. So someone are coming for, this also the work like this for, the work like this for, are coming for the same junction.
On his part, the Edo North Senatorial Youth and Student Campaign Council Director Kasim Otoru thanked the State Youth and Student Campaign Council Director Honorable Valentin Uwamagbe Aswen for coming to inaugurate the committee. He equally appealed to the committee members to go back to their units and canvass vote for the governorship candidate of the party so as to make the job easy for the APC to record landslide victory at the election.
How do you take charge of the situation? Take care of your youths, your units. No form will that day when election don't reach. Because people will come and give them money, say, oh, I want to do like this. They're going to not listen to them. When I carry the money, put for pockets. APC must take over the states.
High point of the ceremony was the presentation of letter of appointment to the committee members. Speaking with newsmen after the inauguration, Honorable Valentin Uwamagbe Aswen said Senator Monday Okpebholo is a man who is passionate about his people and ready to bring the needed change to Edo State, saying that he is confident that come September 21, APC will be victorious at the polls and Senator Monday Okpebholo will take over the affairs of governance in the state.
He's a local breed. He's a man that is a progressive native, a man that is loved by all. There is honorable humility, there is honorable simplicity and honesty. So he's not somebody that you need to describe that is a foreigner. He's somebody that is already on ground, a local content for Edo people and by Edo people.
Some of the appointees expressed their readiness to work together to ensure APC and its candidates, Senator Monday Okpebholo, emerge as the next governor of Edo State. They said with Senator Monday Okpebholo and Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa as antecedents, they are confident that they will work for the good of Edo State when elected.
During the time of Adam Saliu Oshomole, when he was vying for the position of governor in Edo State, we all did it for him. Presently, I think it's a task that I already have the formula which I will use. Even before now, I'll be interacting with the bodies of the union leaders across Edo North, all the institutions in Edo North.
The only thing I have to do right now is to go back to my local government and deliver.
We are going to deliver the state for APC. As you can see, everybody is mobilized, the youths are ready, and we are going to deliver.
We are prepared, the youth are already prepared, and we are mobilized to make we get there.
Honorable Valentin Uwamagbe Aswen and his team thereafter moved to Edo Central Senatorial District. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
In other news, 17 out of the 26 executive members of APC Ward 4 in Isako Central Local Government area of Edo State have disassociated themselves from the alleged suspension of a party chieftain, High Chief Richard Okozie, passing an implicit vote of confidence in him. Rising from an emergency Ward 4 APC meeting held at Ogbonna in Isako Central, the chairman of the party in the ward, Chief Michael Ikagu, and the party executive members unanimously declared that High Chief Richard Okozie remains the leader of the party in the ward in view of his numerous contributions and support towards the progress and success of the party in the area, and therefore denied any sort of suspension of the party chieftain. Some of the resolutions reached at the end of the meeting included the following: that there was never a time in which the ward executive met to discuss any case of anti-party activities against High Chief Okozie, that the purported signatories of the ward chairman and other members of party executive were forged and be so verified, that High Chief Richard Okozie is a loyal party man who has contributed immensely towards the progress and stability of the party in the ward, and that any trump-up charges against him is a figment of the imagination of some detractors who are bent on causing crisis and disunity in the party. That they, the 17 out of the 26 executive members of the ward, have passed a vote of implicit confidence on High Chief Richard Okozie as a result of his leadership prowess and contributions to the growth of the party in the ward and the entire local government. Therefore, the APC Isako Central Ward 4 executive members described the allegations of anti-party activities and other infractions leveled against High Chief Okozie as not only baseless, unfounded and watery, but meant to tarnish the hard-earned reputation of High Chief Okozie and should be totally ignored by the leadership of the party and the general public. the September 21st Edo gubernatorial election draws near, some citizens of the state have called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to put factors in place to render a free, fair and transparent election. They said they expect that the data capturing machines to be in proper working conditions before the election day to avoid any hiccups. The report.
I don't think INEC can actually do anything better because we have already seen lot of things about INEC.
As politicians in Edo State strategize and perfect plans for the September 21, 2024 governorship election, the electorate, on the other hand, are concerned about how prepared the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, as a body is towards delivering a credible election in the state. Speaking with BeeTv News Crew, some respondents highlighted some challenges they have experienced in previous elections and ways INEC can do better.
Should put in place just simple to make sure the election is going free and fair. Number one, they have to tighten up security and then make sure that everybody has their voters card. Make the election be free and fair.
The election should be free and fair. Let the masses, we the Edo, let's vote who we like. Let everybody cast their vote. That's all.
I think they should provide adequate number of people in each of the polling units. And also, I think they should ensure that every vote counts.
Others emphasize that INEC should work with security agencies to beef up security at each polling unit, as well as provide more staffs and officials to quicken the voting process, while admonishing INEC to shun any corrupt practices to reinstate the lost faith in the electoral process.
I feel that INEC can do very more better than what they did before, because I personally, I worked in the last election as an INEC staff. And there was a lot of things that I really can't say now. So they should make sure that they have, first of all, enough staff. Because the workload on us, it was too much. So they should have enough staff so that the process will be easier and simpler. Security personnel should be on ground, not just one or two. They should be at least in a unit that they have large crowd. They should be let's just say 10. Or 5 policemen to be able to curtail any outburst.
Security should be provided 100% for every man so that we can come out from our houses, various houses, and vote.
It is expected that come September 21, the Edo governorship election will be conducted in a peaceful manner, devoid of violence, and the people's votes will count. Esoa Osemege reporting for BeeTv News.
The Women Mobilization Committee of the APC Campaign Council on Thursday organized a meeting charging all women leaders in their various wards and units to propel the mandates of the party forward ahead of the September 21st governorship elections. The meeting was called at the instance of the director of the APC Women Mobilization Committee, Honorable Itoa Osao Edupolo. The report is presented by Best Orator.
The meeting, which was held at the APC Secretariat, Ikpokpan, Benin City, saw different women party leaders in attendance. Addressing the crowd of women, the Director, Women Mobilization Committee of Senator Modio Pueblo and Dennis Idahosa Campaign Organization, Honorable Itoa Osao Edupolo, asked for unity and togetherness in order to prepare the party forward and by extension deliver the mandate of the party come September 21, 2024. She urged all present to carry along those in their various wards, as it is a collective responsibility of all party faithful to ensure the APC gets to Sadebe Avenue.
All women in Edo State, the 18 states in Edo State, the 18 local governments in Edo State, in the 3 senatorial districts, you are all members of Women Mobilization. I want to let you know that a tree cannot make a forest. We need each other to be able to excel in the must call all the women for you to know that you are a stakeholder in this business. We cannot do it alone without you. We need you more than ever before. We need to work for your son, Monday Okwewolo, and his deputy, Dennis Idahosa, for them to be able to get to Osadebe Alon.
Honorable Itoan Osawa Edokpolo said women constitute a larger percentage of the electorate in the society and therefore called on the women to reach out to other women across party lines to vote for APC and its candidate, Senator Monday Okwewolo, and Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa to become the next governor and deputy governor of Edo State. On her part, the APC National Deputy Treasurer, Honorable Omoede Osifo, enjoined all party faithful to play their part to ensure the success of the APC.
I want us to keep working. We just have how many months to go? This is July. 2 months. And we are done. 2 months of hard work to become the owners of government house. Is it not one thing? So with you women, the caliber of women are saying our women leaders, senatorial women leaders, powerful women, the local government women leaders, the world women leaders we have under all of you. I know that victory is sure.
In the same vein, the Deputy State Woman Leader, Honorable Memuna Momodu, alongside women stakeholders of the party, employed all to work in their various capacity to ensure the victory of the party. They highlighted accountability, transparency, as well as collective responsibility as key to ensuring the mandate of the All Progressives Congress is derived.
Make we go our work, go work. Make we go our unit, go work. So that when we win, every government na elephant. Everybody accommodates everybody because government get levels. Don't you say you must go to university before they go give you position. You get one where you see use your primary school. You get one they go say okay bring your PE. So if you know we do not go fit do all those ones.
So I want to say to you that with this woman in charge of mobilization, we want to win this election. In fact, we have already won this election. Yeah. And if you work very hard in your local government, if you work very, very hard alongside your LGA woman leader, she will notice you. And this is a message to all 18 LGA women leaders. Please allow other women breathe.
You don't wait until the candidate breaks, because a win for the party is a win for you. And because you cannot say you are a leader, you are here. Then at the end of it all, you can't bring a result that you want your unit. But one thing I want to appeal to, this sisterhood, don't let it break. Don't leave us alone when we eventually get to Sadebe.
The Edo 2024 gubernatorial election is just 2 months away. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
Moving on, the Senate has constituted a 15-member ad hoc committee to thoroughly investigate the continuous importation of hazardous petroleum products and substandard diesel into Nigeria. The ad hoc committee, led by the leaders of the Senate, is expected to report its findings in 3 weeks. BeeTv News' Gift Uwagboy tells us more.
Calls to ban the importation of diesel and substandard petroleum products are re-echoed in Senator Ekpeyong's motion. The lawmaker raises concern over the continued importation of hazardous petroleum products and substandard diesel, which is a huge threat to the individuals and the environment.
Quality of the state diesel is below the Nigerian standard in terms of flash and sulfur levels. However, in spite of the substandard nature of the diesel, it has found its way into the Nigerian markets as a track on empty callous.
This motion enjoys the support of a cross-section of lawmakers who also complained that the situation has made the market unfavorable for local operators and impedes the sustainability and growth of domestic refineries.
If we have been told as a nation that our refineries were under repair, and over $4 billion had been invested in this by government at different times. And we have been given different dates when these refineries will be up and running.
As an oil-producing nation for 50 years or thereabout, this nation is still battling with the issue of auditing, the issue of sampling, and the issue of fault validation.
You look at line by line of this motion that is before us, it is clear that even quoting the dates where each of these transactions takes place is enough for us to look into this sector, not only this motion alone.
We have 5 modular refineries going on. We have the one from Dangote, and then we are issuing licenses every day. As you open newspapers, you see licenses to bring in what? Diesel, bring in fuel, bring in this, bring in that.
The senators has now constituted a 15-members ad hoc committee to carry out a thorough investigation into the matter and report back to the Senate with its findings in 3 weeks. Gift Uwagbo reporting for BeeTv News.
The Federal Capital Territory Agroclimatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscapes Project Implementation Unit has distributed 10 tractors and 140 power tillers to community interest groups in Abuja. The report is presented by Freeman Usawi.
The Agroclimatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscape has the mandate to increase the adoption of sustainable landscape development practices in targeted watersheds in northern Nigeria. The project is targeted in arid to semi-arid states located in the Sahel, Sudan, Guinea, Savannah, and Southern Guinea ecosystem, characterized by dry semi-arid conditions, low vegetation, and sparse vegetation cover. The FCT administration is particular about improving the livelihoods of its population, especially where there are lands available for agricultural practices.
Is to move the FCT instead of two implementation. We are starting now with one guidance of the one team led by the tax leader, national project coordinator, and his team of experts from the Federal Project Monitoring Unit. Our journey in this second stage will happen sooner than later.
The Agricultural Mandates Secretary says the implementation unit had put necessary structure in place for smooth implementation of the project. The goal, according to him, is to enhance their capacities to serve communities better with activities that align with the project development objectives.
Implementation unit, the beneficiaries of this investment have been organized into community interest groups, CIGs. As of today, we have been able to form over 250 CIGs across the FCT, and other works are in progress. All these have been included, ensuring the participation of all segments of the community, such as women, youth, traditional institutions, and religious groups.
Perennial problems of desertification became obvious due to climate change, human activities, and climate variation, such as prolonged drought and flood. The urgent and dire need to address this problem brought about the agroclimatic resilience in semi-arid landscape by the government of Nigeria. Freeman Usawi reporting for BeeTv News.
This is still BeeTv Major News on the hour. We have more stories coming your way after the short break.
Public announcement. The office of Honorable Prince Henry Odianosel Koji, member representing Esa North-East and Esa South-East Federal Constituency of those states, is pleased to announce a 4-day free eye care outreach for residents of Esa North-East and Esa South-East local government areas of Edo State, respectively. A team of medical personnel sponsored by the federal lawmaker will be on ground to ensure quality Medicare for constituents. The medical outreach will reduce drastically the various eye challenges faced by residents in the federal constituency. The medical outreach is scheduled to hold at the 2 local government areas that makes up the federal constituency. Day 1, Uromi Community Town Hall, Esa North-East local government area. Date 5th and 6th July 2024, while 12th to 13th July 2024 will be the turn of Esan Southeast Local Government Area. Venue, John Bosco Event Center, Ago 90 Ubiaja, Esan Southeast. Honorable Odi Okoji, Chairman House Committee on Petroleum Resources Mainstream, is committed to contributing his quota to the overall well-being of the people of Esan Northeast and Esan Southeast Federal Constituency. Signed, Planning Committee.
Thank you for staying. Now to business. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, has given a 48-hour deadline for new investors to register for the 2024 oil block licensing bid round. This announcement was made by Gbenga Komolafe, the chief executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, on Wednesday at the ongoing 23rd Nigerian Oil and Gas Energy Conference in Abuja. BeeTv News' Regina Ojomo has details of this and more from the world of business.
In his presentation titled Defining the Outlook for Deepwater Exploration and Production in Nigeria, Komolafe stated that the registration and submission of pre-qualification documents will close at midnight on Friday, July 5, 2024. Recall that in earlier May 2024, NUPRC invited investors to bid for its 12 new oil and existing 7, totaling 19 blocks up for the 2024 bidding around the world. According to Komolafe, the license round announcement, the launch of the bid portal and advertisements, which commenced on May 29, ended on May 10. Komolafe said ministerial consent as well as contracting the negotiation will start on December 6 and end in January 29, 2025. The CEO said the total number of available blocks were 31, with 5 blocks currently under litigation. Nigeria is making significant progress in its effort to expand financial access across the country, thanks to the ASO Accord initiative, the Accord, which has received strong support from Vice President Shettima, and the Tinubu administration aims to promote economic and financial inclusion for all Nigerians. According to Dr. Zaru, the Accord has reached the highest level of government, including the National Economic Council, and has generated significant interest and support. Siemens, a leading global technology company, and PANA Infrastructure have announced their collaboration to tackle Nigeria's electricity infrastructural sector. The partnership, according to them, is aimed at modernizing and upgrading Nigeria's electric power infrastructure through the provision of grid automation, creating job opportunities in the country, and smart infrastructure solutions across Nigeria. The agreement signed between Siemens and PANA Infrastructure focuses on enhancing grid reliability and stability, deepening electrification rates to meet the rapidly growing demand of electricity in Nigeria. And that's it on Business News Tonight. Regina Ujomo reporting for BeeTv News.
Now on entertainment, Divine Ukubo, known professionally as Rema, a Nigerian singer, rapper and songwriter who gained initial recognition with his 2019 song, Dumebi, has made history as his hit single Calm Down surpassed 2 billion streams on Spotify. He achieved wider recognition with his 2022 single Calm Down, which spawned a remix with Selena Gomez. Now let's join BeeTv News' Gift Uwagboy for more stories on entertainment.
Released in 2022, Calm Down has become a global phenomenon, resonating with fans worldwide with its catchy beats and relatable lyrics. Meanwhile, the song's lyrics such as Baby Calm Down, and Girl You Sweet Me Like Fanta have become an anthem for many, symbolizing patience and reassurance in relationships. The song's success can be attributed to its infectious melody and Rema's unique vocal style. Additionally, a remix of Calm Down further boosted the song's popularity, introducing Rema's music to a broader audience. Also, this milestone marks another achievement in Rema's fast-growing career, and not just with Calm Down on Spotify. However, Rema's rise to fame began in 2019 with his debut single Iron Man, which gained him a record deal. Since then, he has broken numerous records, including becoming the first Nigerian artist to debut on the Billboard 200 charts. Also, Oz Awards, including the Headies Awards for Next Rated and the BET Awards for Best New International Flow. Ghanaian chef Ebenezer Smith, popularly known as Chef Smith, has been arrested and detailed for fabricating a Guinness World Record for the longest cooking marathon by an individual. Smith, at a press conference on Tuesday, announced himself on social media as the new world record holder for a purported 820-hour, 25-minute cookathon from February 1st, 2024 to March 6, 2024. The public relations executive for Guinness World Record, Alina Poliaskaya, refuted the claims made by Smith in an interview with the BBC, saying it is not true at all, it does not hold the Guinness World Record title, and that it is not their certificate. Recall that Irish chef Alan Fisher is the current record holder for the longest cooking hours, having clocked in 119 hours and 57 minutes, surpassing Nigerian chef Hilda Bassi. Lastly, on entertainment, Tems has set another significant milestone with her debut album on the US Billboard 200 charts. The album, which initially debuted at number 56, marking the highest debut for a female Nigerian artist, has now spent 3 weeks on the charts. This accomplishment makes it the longest charting album by a female Nigerian artist on the Billboard 200. Currently, the albums hold the 191st spot on the chart, having dropped 54 spots from the previous week. Despite the drop, the 3-week presence on the chart underscores Tems' growing influence and popularity in the US music scene. Tems' journey to this record-breaking achievement began with her impressive debut at number 56 on the Billboard 200. This debut was already a historic moment as it set a new standard for female Nigerian artists. The continued presence of her album on the chart, now at 3 weeks, further solidifies her status as a trailblazer in the global music industry. That's it on entertainment news tonight. Gift Uwagbo reporting for BeeTv News. Gift.
And now to the global news segment. We begin from the United States, where nearly 30,000 people in Northern California have been ordered to evacuate due to growing wildfires amid a heat wave. The Thompson fire prompted the evacuation of around 28,000 residents. Extreme heat, dry conditions, and strong winds are expected to continue, with temperatures possibly reaching 118 Fahrenheit, 47 degrees Celsius. BeeTv News global news correspondent Rebecca Garfield tells us more on this and other stories from the global scene.
Oroville, near the fire's origin, cancelled its 4th July fireworks celebration to prevent further fires. But County Sheriff Corey Connor urged people not to use fireworks, highlighting recent fires in the area and the ongoing danger. California's fire season, which started recently and runs until October, has intensified due to human-caused climate change. The National Weather Service issued excessive heat and red flag warnings, indicating a high risk of heat stress or illnesses. Israel is reviewing Hamas's response to a Gaza ceasefire plan proposed by President Biden in late May. Hamas has discussed the plan with mediators Egypt and Qatar, initially demanding an end to the war and Israeli troop withdrawal from Gaza. Israel only agrees to temporary pauses in fighting until Hamas is eliminated. A Palestinian official told newsmen that Hamas no longer insists on a full ceasefire at the start of the 3-phase plan. President Biden's plan, based on an Israeli proposal, includes a complete ceasefire, IDF withdrawal from populated areas, and an exchange of hostages for Palestinian prisoners in the first phase. The second phase would end hostilities permanently, and the third phase would focus on Gaza reconstruction and returning hostages remains. The preacher leading the overcrowded event in India, where over 120 people died, denies responsibility and pledges to cooperate with the police. Bole Baba's lawyer blames antisocial elements and a criminal conspiracy for the incident. Police arrested 6 people from the event's organizing committee. Most victims were women and children attending a Hindu religious festival in Hathras district. The case has caused outrage in India due to the apparent lack of security measures. Bole Baba, whose real name is Narayan Sakar Vishwahari, will cooperate fully with the investigation. This disaster is one of the worst crashes in India in years, with images of people transporting the injured in various vehicles circulating online. And lastly, a man, Tim Gilchrist, 56, from County Waterford, has been sentenced to 11 years in jail for flying 8.4 million euros worth of cocaine from France to Ireland. He was caught with 120 kg of cocaine in his car after landing a Cessna at Aberystwyth Aerodrome in Longford on 4th August 2022. Gilchrist claimed he was forced to smuggle the drugs after being threatened. The court heard there were no custom checks at the departure or arrival aerodromes. Judge Kenan Johnson called for security upgrades to prevent drug smuggling. Gilchrist was arrested after being under surveillance, and he claimed that 2 men has coerced him by threatening his daughter. And that's it on the Global News segment for tonight. Thanks very much for watching. I am Rebecca Goffey.
Shifting gears now, let's join our sports news correspondent, Uyi Lambert, as he keeps us up to speed with all things sports.
The Dutchman's previous deal, which he signed when he was appointed in 2022, was due to expire in 2025. Ten Hag, who joined United from Ajax, has won 2 trophies in 2 years at Old Trafford. In his words, "I'm very well pleased to have reached agreement with the club to continue working together," said the 54-year-old. Ten Hag stressed that we must also be clear that there is still lots of hard work ahead. United finished 3rd in the Premier League during Ten Hag's first season at the club, as the Dutchman ended the club's 6-year wait for silverware with victory against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final. But Dutchman's second season was far more difficult, as United finished 8th in the Premier League and were knocked out of the Champions League group stages. Emma Raducanu cruised past Belgium's Elise Mertens to join fellow Briton Sonny Cotter in the Wimbledon 3rd round. Former British number 1 Raducanu, given a white card in her return to the championships after last year's injury troubles, struck the ball confidently and clinically in a 6-1, 6-2 win. It is the first time she has reached the 3rd round of a Grand Slam tournament since lifting the 2021 US Open title as an 18-year-old qualifier. Raducanu's impressive victory came a couple of hours after 22-year-old qualifier Cotter produced the biggest win of her career to beat Francis Caraburo in 3 sets. Cotter, ranked 298th in the world, won 6-3, 5-7, 6-3 to become the first home player to reach the Wimbledon 3rd round this year. He will face US Open champion Coco Gauff after the American 6-2, 6-1 win over Anka Dutoni. Oliver Bearman will become the 4th British driver on the Formula 1 grid next season after signing to race for the US-based Haas team. The 19-year-old, who impressed in finishing 7th on his Formula 1 debut for Ferrari at this year's Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, has signed what Haas calls a multi-year contract. It's hard to put into words just how much this means to me, said Bearman, who took his first Formula 2 victory of 2024 in Austria last weekend after winning 4 races in 2023. Bearman stood in for Carlos Sainz in Jeddah after the Spaniard was diagnosed with appendicitis. Despite not driving the car until final practice, Sainz had driven on Friday. Bearman qualified 11th and finished 7th in the race. Speaking at Silverstone on earlier today at the start of the British Grand Prix weekend, Bearman said he believed his performance in Jeddah had been a major contributor to securing his promotion to Formula 1. And that's a bit on the sport news segment on BeeTv News. I'm Uyi Lambert. Thanks for watching. Good evening.
With that, we've come to the end of our news package for tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you being a part of it. My name is Oluwatoyin Oyedola. Have a good night.